and welcome to Wake Tech Community College's Career and Employment Resources podcast. Each edition focuses on career and employment information relevant to your career development. I maintained a 97% satisfaction rate over a 24-month period as a customer care representative. I exceeded retail sales goals by an average of 17% every quarter since 2018. I created a company culture initiative that raised employee satisfaction rates by 25%. I increased shipping times by 100% by implementing a computerized inventory system. Isn't it interesting how easy it is for some people to just pull out their blowhorn and proclaim their greatness to the world, while others seem to struggle with just standing up and self-promoting their accomplishments to others? Why is that? And how can we become better self-promoters? Now, I must admit that I'm a bona fide extrovert, so I don't have problems speaking up. But I'm also a former stutterer. So I remember just how challenging it was just to even get up and introduce myself, much less get up and self-promote and proclaim my greatness. Well, in the next few minutes, I'd like to share some tips on how to self-promote without making a bragging spectacle of yourself. So let's get right into it right now. Hello, Wake Tech. This is Career Coach Larry Tucker. And October is Self-Promotion Month. The whole idea behind the celebration of Self-Promotion Month is to boost the idea that there's nothing wrong with being your own best promoter. Did you know that 80% of the world's population doesn't feel comfortable actively promoting themselves? Most of us feel like we're bragging or being too pushy when we speak or act in ways that show that we think too highly of ourselves or our work. But I believe that if we do it right, self-promoting can result in big career opportunities. In today's unstable job market, you have to be more mobile than ever before. Long-term loyalty between the company and the employee is generally considered a thing of the past. You have to be prepared at a moment's notice to find your next job or to take advantage of your next opportunity. And in order to make that happen, people have to know who you are, what you do, and understand what value you offer in the workplace. You've probably heard it a million times before. If you want to get ahead in your career, you have to self-promote. I'll even take it a step further. I believe that it's not always the best applicant that gets the job. I believe that it's the best applicant that articulates that he or she is the best applicant that gets the job. And your ability to articulate that you are the best applicant for the job is called self-promoting. And in most cases, that self-promoting starts way before the actual job interview. Through the art of self-promotion, you establish a reputation in the field. You become memorable, which means that people think of you when opportunities become available that fit your skill set. That's why they say it's not only about who you know, but mostly about who knows you and what you're capable of. When people know your skill set and value, you are more able to move around with ease because of your marketability, giving you peace of mind even in an uncertain job market. For that reason alone, self-promoting is an invaluable career tool. And if done right, it can feel natural, authentic, and comfortable for everyone involved. You will come off as helpful, valuable, and enthusiastic about what you do, and you'll build a positive, strong reputation in your department, company, and industry. In today's podcast, I want to share with you a few strategies on how to make sure that your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. The first tip is to change the way you're thinking about self-promotion. If the idea of self-promotion makes you cringe, then maybe you need to change your perception about self-promotion. You probably think that it means bragging and pumping yourself up above others, but it doesn't have to be like that. In fact, it shouldn't be like that. One of my favorite motivational speakers, the late Dr. Wayne Dyer, used to say, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at begin to change. It's helpful to think about self-promotion not as talking about yourself, but as talking about your work. And if you are enthusiastic about your work, self-promotion becomes that much easier. You need to change the way you're looking at self-promotion. Focus on what you can give rather than what you can get when you self-promote. The world needs that special gift that only you have. And if you hold back from your self-promotion, you are stealing from those who need you most. We need to really start thinking about self-promoting as a service or a public service. It is our personal contribution to a company, to an institution, or to society. I mean, you never know if someone needs to hear about what you do. If not for themselves, maybe for a friend or a colleague. I'm sure you've had this happen before. You go out and you meet someone and they tell you that they're a web designer, and you say, "Oh my God, you are exactly who I've been looking for." Thank goodness you said something. When you learn to change the way you think about self-promoting, you learn that it's not as hard as you think it is. Next, you have to accept the fact that self-promoting is an essential part of your career development. I mean, let's face it, if you don't engage in self-promotion, then how are you ever going to get promoted? Think about it. You need to think of yourself as a product. You may be absolutely amazing, but if you don't advertise that to the right people, no one will ever know it. Just like the skills you learned in school that trained you to be good at your job, the skill of self-promotion is essential for being successful in your career. So accept it. Self-promoting is an essential skill for your career development. The next strategy is to take every opportunity to enhance your visibility. Meredith Feynman, author of the book Brag Better, calls people who have done the work but don't know how to talk about it the qualified quiet. You deserve the credit and the growth opportunity for all the work that you do. I mean, how many times have your boss asked you, "What's up?" Chances are you said, "Not much." Usually people are not prepared to answer that question, and they blow an excellent opportunity to self-promote in front of their boss. Author Feynman recommends that you take the opportunity to say that work is great and talk about the progress of your latest project or recent accomplishment. That increases your visibility. In addition, Feynman says if there's one time that you feel comfortable about giving yourself a pat on the back, it should be during your performance review. Show up with the list of your accomplishments, projects completed, challenges overcome, and positive feedback from your peers. According to Feynman, if you miss this chance to promote yourself, you probably don't deserve a raise or a promotion. So increase your visibility by taking the opportunity to self-promote every single chance you get. The next strategy is to build up your personal and professional network. You probably heard the expression, if you are not networking, you are not working, or that your network is your net worth. As I said earlier, in the professional world, who you know is often more important than what you know. But more important than that is who knows you. Building your network and making connections is a great way to self-promote. And if you do that, you'll probably have others promoting you as well. Developing a network of relationships will bring long-term career value both for you as well as your network. The next strategy to become a better self-promoter is to be an industry expert. Another way to expand your visibility is you should also promote outside your company or industry. For starters, be aware of how you are perceived via your social media presence. You want to be strategic in your participation on LinkedIn, Twitter, and even Facebook, and anywhere you are connected with professional contacts. The strategy is to use these platforms to communicate about what you want to be known for. Are there people who you consistently see on LinkedIn or Twitter who are providing valuable tips and information? Well, don't just read their posts, comment on their posts, and start a dialogue. Then create your own post and add your name to the field. If you consistently pop up on other people's screens as a resource of information in your field, you'll quickly brand yourself as the industry expert. How cool is that? This not only looks compelling for prospective employers or recruiters who may be searching you online, it also expands your reach, allowing you to create a global network of contacts and potential job leads. This is a great way to create a strong online presence that can do some of that bragging for you. And beyond the virtual world, you can promote yourself as an expert by writing and submitting articles or speaking about your area of expertise. Industry publications and websites are often in need of contributors like you. The next strategy is to make good feedback stick. If you get an email from a coworker or a customer complimenting you on a job well done, forward it to your boss. You might want to add a comment to that email that your boss feels compelled to respond to, such as, "Another satisfied customer. Don't you agree?" When your boss or your supervisor is forced to respond to your message, it has a good chance of sticking. And the last tip and strategy I'd like to leave you with is promote others and yourself at the same time. Giving praise is often a lot easier than pushing for it. And in showing your appreciation for others, you can self-promote as well. Here's how it works. During a project or after it wraps up, you can share what your teammates did well. Simply highlight how each of the team members contributed to the project's success, as well as your own impact on the project. It makes it easier for you to open up about what a great job you did when you're not just talking about yourself the whole time. This allows you to take advantage of the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity says that if I scratch your back, you'll scratch mine. Although the law of reciprocity is not an exact science, 7 out of 10 people, if you compliment them, they will be sure to return the favor. Now let's recap. Self-promotion is the subtle art of marketing yourself. The strategies to help you become a better self-promoter are: strategy number 1, change the way you are thinking about self-promotion. You need to start thinking about self-promotion as a public service. The world needs that special gift that only you can give. Strategy number 2, accept the fact that self-promotion is an essential part of your career development. If you don't engage in self-promotion, then how are you ever going to get promoted? Strategy number 3, take every opportunity to enhance your visibility. And you want to especially take advantage to self-promote each year during your performance review. Strategy number 4, build up your network. Making connections with others is a great way to self-promote, because what's even more important than who knows you is that they also know what you do. Strategy number 5, be an industry expert. You want to use your social media presence to communicate what you want to be known for in your industry. Strategy number 6, make good feedback stick. Remember to forward emails and letters complimenting you for your good work to your supervisors. And finally, strategy number 7, promote others and yourself at the same time. This means taking advantage of the law of reciprocity that says, if I scratch your back, you'll scratch mine. In conclusion, when it comes to self-promotion, most of us are taught, don't brag and don't show off. I think it's time that we untangle these feelings of shame and guilt and self-consciousness from sharing our gifts and offering our service to the world. The world needs that special gift that only you have. Now, if you still don't feel comfortable tooting your own horn, that's your choice. But realize this, that if you don't talk up your accomplishments, you not only decrease your chances of getting promoted, but you also decrease your chances of hanging on to your job. The fact of the matter is, if you don't brag about yourself, then nobody else will. If you need some help developing your self-promotion skills, schedule an appointment with one of our career specialists today. You can schedule an appointment at careers.waketech.edu. That is careers.waketech.edu. This is Career Coach Larry Tucker, hoping that you have a wonderful day and an excellent self-promotion month. Thank you for listening to this edition of the Career and Employment Resources Podcast. If you like what you've just heard today, please pass along our web address at careers.waketech.edu. You can also receive notifications of all of our future events by following us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us next time for another edition of our Career and Employment Resources Podcast.